The next thing we'd like to see in Soul Calibur 5 would be the return of Edgemaster mode. Um, for those of you that don't remember, Edgemaster mode was a mode past Soul Calibur games where you basically were on this map and it was basically you traveling around the known world looking for either Soul Edge or Soul Calibur. I think the best one was probably in Soul Calibur 2. I think Soul Calibur 2 probably had the deepest Edgemaster mode, and there was one in Soul Calibur 3, which is when they brought in the animations. You remember you had you could do something or you couldn't do something.
Yeah, it had a lot of animations, and you can also decide, like you just said, you can decide, like almost like a very, very early stage of Mass Effect almost, like where, oh, I want to choose this way to go or this way to go instead, or this way to speak, Paragon Renegade, blah, 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 like that,
Yeah, and you could get certain items depending on what paths you chose.
Certain cutscenes.
Yeah, there's certain items you couldn't get unless you did certain things with certain people and blah, blah, blah. But the overall gist is, this wouldn't be a problem if they did not take this out in 4. There should not be a reason why it wasn't in 4. And 4 really needed an Edgemaster mode.
Yeah.
The main benefit of Edgemaster mode is to allow you to get more personal with each character, which was a problem in Soul Calibur 4. I'm going to bring that up a lot because Soul Calibur 4 had a shitload of problems. It allowed you to get personal with each character and give them a sense of worth to the overall storyline. And besides the story mode that Soul Calibur 4 had, which wasn't even a story mode, literally it was a wall of text and 4 fights. So let's get that straight. You really didn't get acquainted with any character. You really didn't care. It was just bad overall. So I would like to see Edgemaster mode back for the long haul, or at least an improved version of Edgemaster mode. Probably a newer gen version of Edgemaster mode that's a little bit more visual, a little bit more interactive than the old map style. But other than that, I think that would be a big improvement on the game going forward from the past game. And it can do okay. Next topic is character creation. This mode I've come to love. It's probably the most important aspects of the game to me. I have to say I was really heartbroken when I played Soul Calibur 4's Create a Soul mode. Is because for how beautiful that game was, and it was gorgeous, there was just no meat to it. A lot of aspects were taken out, but also some aspects were put in. But overall, the Create a Soul mode felt kind of flat because of one particular key factor that I'll talk about later. But it really felt just kind of raped, to be honest.
There's one thing I liked about it over 3's character creator. Well, I guess technically 2 things. I mean, of course it looks prettier, but that's not what the game's about. But it also had a lot more space than 3 did for characters, so you can have 50 characters unless you put them on different drives and stuff. You can have basically 50 characters on a normal just thing, and edit a few characters and stuff. Which was pretty cool because 3 only allowed 10 spaces. But should we talk about it now?
No, what I have to say though is a lot of casual gamers aren't going to need 50 spaces. I personally need 70 spaces.
I need more than that.
So I would like to see more spaces brought into Soul Calibur 5. When it comes to character creation, I'd like to see more varying styles of clothing. I did feel they stuck to like genres a little bit too much, and you had like your type of nightlife clothing, and then blah blah blah, and samurai and stuff like that. I would like to see various other styles of those little styles themselves. Just adding more. I'd like to see layers come back. They took out layering in Soul Calibur 5, possibly for graphical reasons. But if you played Soul Calibur 3's Create a Character or Create a Soul, you would be able to layer layers of tops. There were 3 layers: a lower layer, mid layer, and top layer of both tops and bottoms. And they brought it back in Broken Destiny, which I feel probably had the best created character of the 2 because it merged them together, and it allowed a new thing, which is editing the size and position of items.
Incredible.
That is the way to go, I have to say. If you're gonna bring that back, you get 10 thumbs up, because that was really awesome. I'd take like shoulder pieces and make hats out of it.
Yeah.
That may sound silly, but it was really cool.
Yeah. What was great about that is I have a character in one of my stories where she wears a helmet with horns going to the front like that. And, you know, in Soul Calibur IV, all they had were, you know, the helmet with that or whatever. And in the Broken Destiny, because of the layering and positioning and everything, they have just straight up horns that are like this, and they have a helmet. So I put the helmet on, and then with the layering, I put horns on, and then I turned them forward, made them a little bit bigger and longer, and put them up like that. And you can make whatever you want in there, which is perfect because I love to create he does too. We love to create our characters, which honestly, the way I play the game is I spend literally like 5 times more time in the character creator than any other game mode.
And that's the truth. It's because, well, I believe a lot of creative people can admit to this, but creating things is usually one of the more fun aspects you get in a video game if you're a creative type of person. And if you look on YouTube, some of the things that people were creating with Soul Calibur IV's crappy created character were pretty amazing. I remember in Soul Calibur 3 they had a list, and the list would like give you all the characters on how to create them and stuff, how to create characters from Tekken, blah blah blah, Sephiroth, things like that. I believe I created Samus. That was pretty dope. But
I remember that was amazing.
The amazing Samus I made. The overall idea is put a little more effort into this mode. We will talk about this a little more later in the video, but for now, I would like to see an improved character. Alright, the next thing we'd like to see in Soul Calibur V would be a return of Museum Mode. Museum Mode was damn near unexistent in Soul Calibur IV. We don't know why this was, besides the fact that they just really wanted to make a shitty game. But the Museum Mode, for a lot of people, was really cool. And it can technically fall in the category of lore as well, because there is so much to speak of when it comes to, you know, the museum's mysterious absence after Soul Calibur 3. It was like one of those modes that just made all the work you put into the game worth it, because you could see the artwork, you could see the weapons demos, there were bios, to find out a little bit more about the character. And Soul Calibur 4 was in dire need of this because it really didn't give you a level of interaction with the characters you were playing as. I think they did have a mode where you just basically it showed the connection between all the characters in the game, which I don't really care about. It was like, what do you call those things to where it's like he met her, then she met him, then
Love triangle.
Yeah, it was like one of those stupid things. No one wanted that. Like, let's be real. It was really lacking in the artwork department. If you ever played Soul Calibur 1, you know what a game with a real artwork gallery looks like. That game had a massive artwork gallery, and it was some of the most gorgeous pieces. And not only were they really aesthetically pleasing to look at, they actually helped tell the story. Some of the artwork had kind of filled in the gaps of things you may not know or didn't know, or interaction between characters. And it was a collection of official and fan art, which was really cool. And that's one of the things missing in the series that needs to be brought back. Another thing for Museum that definitely needs to be brought back, and in my opinion is the most important thing in Museum Mode, is Battle Theater. We need Battle Theater back. I cannot stress this enough. Some people are like, what's Battle Theater? Battle Theater is basically when you pit 2 characters in the game against each other, CPU controlled, and you basically control like how many matches, if it will refresh, are they going to find a male, female character, blah, 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 difficulty.
Talk about, pit fighting. Battle Theater was cool. You do bets with your friends. Like, well, I think this computer's winning. Well, I think this one is, and you know your computer loses, and you beat your friend up and then run.
Yeah, it's like, it may not seem important to a lot of people, but it's so simple of an addition to the game. I don't understand why they didn't put it in. It's seriously easy as pie to do these things. It was a really cool mode. It allowed you to, you know, sometimes when I'd be bored, I'd just turn on Battle Theater and have the computer fight each other, and it was always good matches and fun things. And you would see a lot of moves you probably hadn't seen before from characters. A lot gives you ideas and things like that. It was just a really cool thing to do for people who had actually made characters and created storylines with their characters. It was a really neat thing that they took out for some reason. I guess it was too hard to make because they were too busy making fucking walls of text and shit. So I would like to see Museum make a resurgence in Soul Calibur V, bigger, badder, stronger than ever. I think it's really important for the Museum mode to come back and give the series that needed artistic lift that it's kind of like.